There is a suburb just south of Sacramento, California, which is one of the fastest growing cities in the entire state. So if you're thinking about moving to Elk Grove, California, this video is all you're gonna need. We're gonna be talking about what it's really like to live here. No fluff, no sugarcoating, no bull. So let's get into it.
We are Lauren and Lance with the Living in Sacramento team, where we talk all about what it's like moving to the greater Sacramento area. Now, Elk Grove is a city that's been exploding in popularity, but is it the right place for you? Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know: housing, schools, things to do, traffic, new developments, and make sure you stick around until the very end, because we'll even discuss some of the hidden pros and cons people don't talk about.
All right, so Elk Grove sits just south of Sacramento, about a 20-minute drive from downtown on a good traffic day. It's definitely one of the fastest growing suburbs in Northern California, and for good reason. So it's got top-rated schools, newer homes, and it's got a little bit more of that suburban feel compared to the rest of Sacramento Metro. But here's the key. Elk Grove is a giant city, and when it comes to moving here, it can be confusing. With over 42 square miles and 178,000 residents, you definitely want to make sure that you're choosing the right area for you and your family. All right, so let's talk about homes out here in Elk Grove and what you need to know. So if you're thinking about making the move to Elk Grove, the prices are going to range anywhere from the high 400Ks for older homes all the way up to the low $1 million for luxury properties out by the Sheldon community over off of Grant Line Road. Now, if you're looking specifically for new construction homes like where I'm at right now, you can expect those to start off in the low 600s, and they can go also up to the high 900s, low 1 millions, depending on how many finishes and features, options and upgrades that you put into the home. Now, some of these homes are going to have HOAs, some of them are not. Some of these newer construction homes are going to have what you heard us talk on this channel before called a Melrose tax, or added Melrose taxes to your property taxes, and some of the older homes built before 2010 are not. So the nice thing about Elk Grove is you're going to have a little bit of something for everybody. You're going to have some ranch rural properties that are going to be located towards the east side of Elk Grove out by Grant Line Road, and Sheldon just a little bit north of Wilton. You're going to have waterfront homes at the next neighborhood that I'm getting ready to take you over to, that's going to be over by Stone Lake and Laguna West. All these homes are going to be close to tons of amenities, grocery stores, shopping. They're going to have ample access to your Targets, to your Costco's, to your grocery stores. Everything that you think that you want to need as far as shopping goes, you're going to have it all right here in Elk Grove, California. Now, the other thing that Elk Grove has that a lot of areas don't have is going to be brand new construction communities. Now, where I'm located at out in the Grove, down in Elk Grove, California, this is going to be one of KB's master plan communities. They have 5 different communities that range from the high 900s all the way down to the high 400s. But as you can see around me, there is a ton of new construction that's going to be being built all the way around here. So you've got 2 different developments on either side of the street right there. You've got some beautiful new construction homes that are going to be built down there as well. Now, the nice thing about this particular area of Elk Grove is pretty much where all of the new construction is. So like I said, we have the KB homes that are located behind me. There's a few more KV developments that are going to be located towards the front of this. The next neighborhood that butts up to the Grove is going to be Madera Ranch. That's going to be a master plan community that's going to be highlighted by Taylor Morrison. They're going to have both single family homes as well as an active adult community called Esplanade at Madera Ranch. We actually just featured it in our video last week. Then across the street from the Grove and Madera Ranch, you're going to have Arbor Ranch, which is going to be a new home community that's going to have 3 different developments. That's going to range anywhere from the high 600s all the way up to the high 900s. So right in this specific section of Elk Grove, you're going to have probably about 7 or 8 different new construction communities. Then you're also going to have a few Beezer communities that are going to be out here. We have another Woodside community out here as well too, and I believe they're going to have a few more that are going to be opening up in spring of 2025. So as far as home prices go, you can expect to spend anywhere from the high 400s all the way up to the low 1 millions, but it really just comes down to your needs, wants, and must-haves. Now, choosing the right area can be extremely overwhelming, especially in a beautiful suburb like Elk Grove, but we help people like you all the time relocate to the greater Sacramento metro area, especially suburbs like Elk Grove, Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln, and parts of the greater Sacramento metro. Now, we are Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, and we have lived in the greater Sacramento metro area for our entire life, and we know this town like the back of our hand. So if you're thinking about making the move to the greater Sacramento metro area and you want to figure out what's the best place for you and your family, that phone number is going to be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message, and we absolutely love when you guys reach out to us. We love connecting with you guys. We love helping you work through some of your situations and figuring out which one's gonna be the best area for you guys. So go ahead, pause this video, take a screenshot of the phone number, or better yet, if you're on your TV, go ahead and scan that QR code that's gonna be popping up and book your one-on-one discovery call so we can talk about your situation, your time frame, all your needs, wants, and must-haves, and your deal breakers. So that way we can figure out the best new construction or resale community for you guys. Now we're gonna talk about some of the other neighborhoods that are awesome neighborhoods that aren't new construction, but this particular area of Elk Grove is one of the best. Now, shifting gears a little bit, Elk Grove is definitely not a one-size-fits-all community. So Elk Grove is going to have a ton of different neighborhoods and options and styles and shapes of houses as it relates to your housing options. So we just talked a little bit about kind of some of the variety of it. You've got new construction, you've got ranch rural properties, you've got beautiful tract homes, suburbs, you've got some entry-level homes, you've got some condos. Now we're gonna touch on and take you through some of our favorite neighborhoods that we love. Now, starting this off, we're actually gonna be at one of my favorite neighborhoods, which is actually gonna be Bartholomew Park. Specifically the Laguna West neighborhood. So the thing I love most about the Laguna West neighborhood is you're gonna have, some of these properties are gonna be waterfront. Now, our waterfront is a little bit different. We don't back up to the Delta. We do have areas in the Sacramento metro that back up to the river, but you know, the coolest thing that I love about Laguna West is you're gonna have, you know, these nice, incredible man-made ponds. There's a couple of really cool neighborhoods that are out here that actually back up to some of these like man-made ponds. And the cool thing is you have some of these houses that are actually not horribly overpriced. These homes were built in like the early 90s, and some of these back right up to this nice little walking trail area. And then you've got these ponds, you know, you got the bridge, you've got that beautiful park over there. In the distance, you have an elementary school. But the cool thing that I love about this particular neighborhood is it's super close to Interstate 5. So if you've got to commute into Sacramento, you're, in my opinion, on the easier of the two freeways. 99 is kind of a pain in the butt. Super close to I-5. It's a really nice, well-maintained neighborhood. Out here, it's super peaceful. So you've got, you know, some pretty killer sunsets. You've got the peacefulness of the water. You've got this really awesome park that goes all the way around, but it's just a super nice area. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Elk Grove, specifically because some of these houses are not, you know, horribly overpriced for what they are. You find this neighborhood in like a Granite Bay or, you know, even parts of Sacramento, and these are easily $1 million homes. And a lot of these homes you can actually find for, you know, 6, 7, maybe even 800K, but not horrible, but you can still get, you know, a really nice home that backs up to one of these waters. I'm sure there's gonna be some of those other ones across the way. Now, the other cool thing about the Laguna West neighborhood is you do also have an HOA here. There's a clubhouse that's gonna be on one side of Bartholomew Park that's gonna actually have, you know, swimming pool, fitness facility. So you actually get something with that HOA, but again, in my opinion, I think for what you get surrounding, you know, this waterfront is actually gonna be well worth it. Now, the other neighborhood that we're actually just north of that I really love that's over on the I-5 side of Elk Grove is actually gonna be called Stone Lake. That's gonna be a little bit more newer homes. It's gonna be a little bit higher end. Those homes are gonna be closer to the 7s, 8s, 9s, kind of as far as that range goes. They are also going to have a clubhouse over there. Really beautiful homes. You know, you're gonna see anything from 3 to 6 bedroom homes that are gonna be ranging anywhere in size from, you know, probably 1,800 square feet all the way up to 3,000 square feet. But those are definitely gonna be a little bit newer than what's over here in Laguna West. Now, the other area that I really love that we touch on as far as neighborhoods go, and we touched on it a little bit in the last segment, is gonna be the Sheldon area. Now, the Sheldon area is gonna be all the way over on the east side of Elk Grove. It's gonna be past the 99 side. It's actually gonna be on the Grant Line Road as you're going back out towards Rancho Cordova. So it's gonna be kind of deep out there. Those homes are super cool, primarily because those are kind of original Elk Grove. You know, you got some ranch rural property feels. It almost feels like you're going back in time. You know, the old town is right there. It's got like a nostalgic old town, kind of a country rural feel. So those properties are gorgeous. You actually get a little bit of space out there. You're not really on top of your neighbor. You've got anywhere from 8,000 square foot lots all the way up to acre lots. But definitely you're gonna have some nice beauty as it relates to those rural properties. You know, if you wanted to do a little homestead, you wanted to get some chickens, you know, grow some vegetables, all of that stuff, that's definitely going to be the area of town where you're going to have a ton of opportunity for, you know, doing some of that stuff. Now, the fourth area that we wanted to touch on was the new construction area that we were just at. You're going to have probably anywhere between 10 to 15 different new home construction communities that are going to be out there in that new construction area south of Whitelock Parkway, west of Highway 99. Now, you're going to have Taylor Morrison, you're going to have Woodside, you're going to have KB Homes, you're going to have the New Home Co., you're going to have Beezer. I believe Pulte's opening up there in the spring or summertime of 2025. So a lot of different options for you new construction wise. Those homes are going to start off in the high 600s and they're going to go all the way up to the million. So you got a lot of different options as it relates to new construction. Some have really good incentives. Some incentives are okay. They're not anything special, but you can still find interest rate buy downs. You can still find, you know, builders that are willing to wheel and deal on some of the quick move-in homes or the homes that are standing inventory, but definitely a lot of really cool stuff as it relates to the new construction. Now, the last one that I want to touch on, that's a community that is a new construction, but it's also a little bit of a special community, is going to be their Esplanade community. So we actually touched on that a little bit in the last video, and that's going to be unique in the sense that Esplanade is a 55 and up community. It's going to be a gated community. It's going to be a part of the Madera Ranch Taylor Morrison collection of new construction homes out there. But 55 and up, they're going to have a beautiful clubhouse that's not built yet. It should be done hopefully by the end of this summer. It's going to have a private restaurant. It's going to have an outdoor pool. It's going to have pickleball courts. It's going to have tennis courts. It's going to have all the different activities that make 55 and up community really special. Now, those are just some of Elk Grove's amazing neighborhoods, and there's probably another 5 to 15 more neighborhoods that we didn't mention on this section of the video. But if you have any questions about, you know, any of the potential neighborhoods, you want something like this that's backing up to, you know, some water, you want some new construction that's going to be down towards the south, you want to be close to some of your favorite restaurants, or, you know, shopping, Trader Joe's. Some people are particular about, you know, things that make home feel like home. Make sure you reach out to us, because that's where we're going to be able to ask some questions, figure out what your goals are, figure out what you're really looking for, and then also be able to, you know, find the right spot, especially if it's something like this and you guys are backing up towards some pretty awesome man-made ponds. Now, stick around, because Lauren is going to talk about one of the main pros of living in Elk Grove, which is going to be their amazing school districts.
All right, so for the next section, we're going to talk about schools. We couldn't come to Elk Grove and talk all about Elk Grove and not cover what the school situation is like here. Now, Elk Grove schools are one of the main reasons that people move to this area. The Elk Grove Unified School District is one of the top-rated school districts in all of Northern California. It's also one of the largest school districts as well. Now, not only that, but it's home to some of the best high schools in the state of California. Now, some of the top-rated schools that we'll make sure we cover are going to be Franklin, Pleasant Grove, and Consumnes Oaks, just to name a few. Now, Elk Grove is so large, it has 9 high schools that are located right inside of it, which is kind of crazy. On top of that, the Elk Grove Unified School District, one of the main pluses is that it actually covers all of the schools from elementary all the way up through high school. Now, if you're a home with multiple kiddos, different ages, this is gonna be a huge perk, because the school district is who writes the calendars. So all the days off are gonna line up, which is huge if you're a family who likes to travel, go on vacation, or take breaks. It's really convenient when the high schools match up with the elementary schools, especially if you have multiple aged kiddos, so that you can go on trips without having to fake a doctor's note or only travel during the summer months. Now, there's 2 high schools in Elk Grove that are going to be the top-rated high schools according to greatschools.org. Now, these 2 high schools are both going to be rated a 9 out of 10 overall on greatschools.org. The first one's going to be Pleasant Grove High School. The second one is going to be Consumnes Oaks High School. Now, on top of both of these schools being rated a 9 out of 10, they also rate really highly for college readiness, as well as the percentage of students that graduate and go on to a 4-year university. Now, the third highly rated school is going to be rated an 8 out of 10. That's going to be Franklin High School. This is also a really great high school as well. Now, on top of the fact that Elk Grove has great schools, another thing is going to be they also have great sports programs. So if you've got a high school aged kiddo who wants to get involved in sports, all of these high schools offer many different sports. You've got football, you've got track, you've got water polo, swimming, volleyball, basketball, soccer, wrestling, you name it, these high schools are going to offer these sports. Sports are huge in the state of California, and Elk Grove is no different. They definitely offer great sports as well as academics here. Now, sometimes schools can be one of the most confusing parts about moving to a new area, making sure you're picking the right fit for your kiddo, making sure you're picking the right fit for your family. Now, while Elk Grove is a very large school district, and there's a ton of different options when it comes to schools based on the neighborhood that you live in, this is going to be where you're definitely going to want to reach out to us, because we can help make sure you land in the right school in the right area. Now, the way that California works is depending on where your neighborhood is going to be zoned for what specific high school or schools your kiddos are going to go to. So while Elk Grove does have some really highly rated schools, there's also some schools that you might want to stay away from. So definitely reach out to us. This is where we can make sure that we help you land in the right area that's going to be the best fit for your family, whether your kiddos are looking for a high school that offers a lot of advanced placement classes, or maybe you're looking specifically for a school that offers the IB diploma, or heck, maybe your kiddo's really into sports and they're looking for the right fit when it comes to sporting opportunities for them. So that phone number is going to be popping up. We do answer every single phone call, email, and text message. And this is one of the things that really hits home for me. We definitely want to help make sure your kiddos make it and land in the right spot. We want to make sure this transition is easy for them. We have kiddos, so we definitely understand that it's important that they fit in and that they find their right community. So definitely reach out to us. Like I said, that phone number is popping up. We answer every single phone call, email, and text message, and we'll help make sure your family finds the right spot for you guys based on your needs, wants, and desires, as well as the best fit for what you guys like to do, or specifically what area might be a better fit for your kiddo.
Now, let's take a quick break and talk about one of the biggest cons, in my opinion, for Elk Grove, and that's going to be the traffic. So if you're commuting into downtown Sacramento, you can expect to take anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes during rush hours, and it can take a little bit longer if there's an accident, especially if you're on the 99 side. Now, that's why a lot of people tend to lean a little bit over to the Laguna West or the Stone Lake side, since it's an easier access to I-5, and I-5 tends to have a little less traffic and a little less construction on that freeway. Now, on the flip side, 99 usually always has a little bit more traffic, and the freeway always seems like it's going through a lot of construction. With Elk Grove being the largest city behind Sacramento, it's definitely important to think about where you might commute to and where you might live. So if you have to travel all the way across town to get to a specific freeway over the other one, this can also add an additional 20 to 40 minutes to your commute, especially just trying to get across Elk Grove, dealing with stoplights, stop signs, and heavy congestion. So, you know, the cool thing about Elk Grove is if you have to commute down into the Bay Area, it does shave off a little bit of time, and it can be a much more affordable alternative. Just know that your drive might be a little bit brutal if you don't time it right. Now, since you guys like the map videos so much, one of the things I wanted to do is pull up the map here real quick and just kind of talk about the logistics of Elk Grove. So for the most part, Elk Grove is a massive city. A lot of it's going to be kind of centered around Highway 99. So 99 can be the better freeway that you may want to use or utilize if you have to commute into downtown Sacramento. There are parts of the west side of Elk Grove, like we said, over by the Laguna West in the Stone Lake area, that's going to be close to I-5, but those communities are going to be much smaller. So for the most part, you are going to have Highway 99 that's going to be running north and south. It's going to take you from downtown Sacramento, and it's going to take you all the way into places like Galt, Lodi, and on your way down to Stockton. And then same thing for the I-5 side. I-5 tends to be a little bit more of like the commuter trucker freeway. So again, a little bit lighter traffic. That freeway seems to flow a little bit better, but you know, that's kind of the thing that you want to make sure. So you definitely don't want to be caught into living over here in the Laguna West or the Stone Lake area, and then you've got to commute all the way across town just to get to the 99 freeway and then take it all the way up. There are going to be a lot of ranch rural properties that are going to be out here over towards the east side of Elk Grove. You've got Sheldon, you've got Wilton down there, which is a neighboring city down to Elk Grove. But again, same thing, you know, all this traffic is going to be commuting, you know, from east to west. People are going to be getting on the freeway, and then they're going to be taking that up into. So, you know, you definitely want to think about that. If you've got to spend a lot of time commuting into downtown Sacramento, you might want to be a little bit closer to one of those two freeways. That's going to help alleviate some of your traffic, especially during those high commuting hours.
All right, now if you're moving to Elk Grove because you need to be close to medical facilities or for healthcare reasons, maybe you work in the hospital industry, or maybe you're looking to relocate here for a better job in the hospital industry. We've gotten a lot of clients who relocated to this area specifically for nursing. Sometimes the wages in the Sacramento area can be a little bit better for you guys. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we covered one of the main reasons that people consider Elk Grove, and that's going to be for the healthcare industry as well as the hospitals that are going to be close by. So let's make sure we talk about them right now. Now, while Elk Grove itself doesn't have a large trauma center actually in the heart of Elk Grove, there's tons of hospitals that are nearby and a trauma center that's extremely close. And one of the main reasons that people pick Elk Grove is because of the cost of living in Elk Grove and how easy it is to get to some of these facilities. Now, there's going to be a couple different healthcare facilities located in Elk Grove. The one that I'm at right now is going to be Kaiser Healthcare Facilities located in Elk Grove off of Elkhorn Boulevard and Laguna Boulevard. Now, this specific facility is going to be mainly doctor's offices. There's not an ER here, but there is an urgent care, primary care, as well as a pharmacy and some specialty services here as well. Now, the next main hospital that's going to be close to here is going to be Dignity Health Methodist Hospital. This is going to be located off of Bruceville Road, just north of Elk Grove. Now, Dignity Health Methodist Hospital, it does have a full ER center as well as a surgery center and a maternity ward as well. Now, Dignity Health Methodist Hospital is going to be the closest hospital to Elk Grove that has the full service hospital, like I just said, ER, maternity ward, as well as some specialty and surgery clinic options there as well. Now, another main hospital here that's going to be close to Elk Grove, it's not going to be in Elk Grove, but it's one of the main hospitals that people come to in this area. It's going to be Kaiser Permanente South Sacramento, located off of Stockton Boulevard. It's only about 10 to 15 minutes outside of Sacramento, so definitely keep that in mind. If you need to commute, there is that hospital as well. Now, this specific hospital it's a level 2 trauma hospital with a full emergency room. Now, Kaiser Permanente South Sacramento does have a couple specialty offices. You've got stroke care, cardiac services, as well as a full surgery center there too. Now, if you need emergency care, this is probably going to be the closest and best bet for you. Now, on top of being located close to these 3 different medical centers, you're going to have one more medical center that's going to be UC Davis Medical Center. It's going to be located in downtown Sacramento. It's about a 20 to 25-minute drive, depending on what traffic looks like and what time of the day you're trying to commute. Now, this is going to be one of the area's top leading hospitals. It's Northern California's largest teaching hospital. It's a research hospital. There's a ton of different things that are always going on at this hospital. It's going to be a level 1 trauma center. It's going to be where a lot of patients get airlifted to, but this hospital has just about everything that you need. It's great for specialists as well as complex surgeries and advanced medical care. So if you're looking to relocate to Elk Grove, because you need to be close to medical facilities, maybe you've got a medical need in your family, or maybe you're a physician. We've had a lot of physicians and nurses reach out who've relocated specifically to Elk Grove because of the location and distance to all of these medical facilities. It's definitely one of the main reasons that we're seeing a lot of people relocate to Elk Grove, so we couldn't leave it off without telling you about the different resources and hospitals that are close by. Now, if you have any questions on the different hospitals, what care's like, or anything related to that, definitely reach out. That phone number is going to be popping up again. We do want to make sure that we help you find the right area based on your family's needs, whether that's medical, recreational, the type of house that you're looking for. We want to make sure that we're thinking through all of the different things so that you're in the right area and so that this move is as easy as possible for you guys.
Now, finally, Elk Grove isn't just going to be all about its suburban sprawls. Being the second largest city in this greater Sacramento area, there is going to be a ton of fun things to do, from shopping to outdoor recreation to great restaurants and excellent bar scenes like behind me at Dust Bowl Brewing, which is one of our favorite places. Now, if you're wanting to do some shopping, there's going to be a couple of different options. You're going to have everything from the Ridge to Laguna Gateway, and you're going to have Old Town Elk Grove, which is where we're located at right now. Now, if you want something that's a little bit more than those 3 specific shopping centers, you're also going to have a really massive shopping center that's going to be just north of Elk Grove along Interstate 5 called Delta Shores. And Delta Shores is going to have everything as well too. You're going to have an RC Willey, you're going to have a Walmart, you're going to have a 511 Tactical, a Bath and Body Works. Heck, you're even going to have a movie theater over there as well too. So there is definitely going to be a lot of different shopping that's going to be available to you in Elk Grove. And honestly, one of our favorite places that we love when we come down to Elk Grove is actually going to be Old Town Elk Grove. So, you know, as you see the drone flying over, it's just going to have that old, cute, quaint feel. There's a lot of really cool shopping that's going to be down here right off of the main drag, right off of Elk Grove Boulevard. So there's a lot of really cool locally owned shops that are going to be right off of that main drag. Now, Switching it over a little bit more to some family fun outdoor recreation, Elk Grove is going to have miles and miles of trails that are going to be awesome for biking and jogging. You're also going to have a ton of parks like Bartholomew Park that we showed you a little bit earlier that's going to back up to some beautiful waterways. You're also going to have the Elk Grove Regional Park, which is actually going to be located just east of Highway 99. Now, when our kids were younger and we used to come down to Elk Grove, we couldn't get away with coming down to Elk Grove without heading over to the Elk Grove Regional Park. Now, we've talked about mega parks in Roseville. I would say that one's even a bigger mega park than even the 2 or 3 mega parks that are in Roseville. So that one's gonna have everything. It's gonna be more resembled to like a Johnson Spring View over in Rockland. It's gonna have a skate park. It's gonna have a giant pond that's gonna be in the middle of it. They've got softball fields. They've got pretty much anything and everything that you can ever want in a park, especially with the family and the little ones. Now, the other really cool thing about the Elk Grove Regional Park is that they're going to have a lot of farmers markets that they have here. They also have a lot of farmers markets where I'm at over here at the Old Town Plaza. So right across the way, you've got this nice overhang covered area that's right off of Elk Grove Boulevard, kind of next to the train track. So that's also gonna be another really cool spot where they do a lot of farmers markets. Now, finally, if you're a foodie, there's gonna be ample amounts of different restaurants. We like to come down to West Coast Taco Bar. We also like to come out here to Dust Bowl Brewing Company. We like to support some of those local eateries. There's also a Makuni Sushi that's down here in Elk Grove as well too, which they're a locally owned sushi restaurant that's all over the greater Sacramento metro that you've heard us talk about on some of these other channels. Now, another really fun thing that's down here in Elk Grove that a lot of kids love to come down to is gonna be the Elk Grove Aquatic Center. Now, that one's gonna be a little bit closer to Consumnes Oaks High School, and that one's actually gonna be really fun. Now, our girls used to always come down here for swim meets, but the Elk Grove Water Park has a ton of outdoor water slides, and it's actually a pretty cool outdoor water park, especially when you're trying to beat the summer heat out here at Elk Grove. There's definitely a lot of really fun things to do down here in the Elk Grove area. They are going to be a little bit more slated towards kind of those family-friendly activities. So a lot of outdoor recreation, a lot of parks, a lot of biking trails, a lot of splash pads. You're definitely going to have the aquatic center, and you're going to have everything that you're going to have available to you over at the regional park as well.
All right, so here's the final question. Should you move to Elk Grove? Let's break it down. All right, so some of the pros. You've got great schools, you've got new construction homes, you've got suburban feel, you've got established homes, you've got a lower crime rate than Sacramento, and overall a safe community, lots of parks, and lots of family fun activities that you can do out here. You're also super close to medical facilities if that's something that's important to you. All right, now for some of the cons. Traffic can definitely be rough. Home prices are rising fast, and there's not a ton of nightlife or things to do out here in the evening if that's your scene.
Now, if you can't handle some of the things that we spoke about today, then that's where we're gonna tell you to go ahead and reach out to us. We know Sacramento like the back of our hand, and we can help you go through and eliminate probably 95% of the areas of the greater Sacramento area that won't be a good fit for you, and figure out the one that's gonna be the perfect one for you and your family. So that phone number is gonna be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message. Or better yet, go ahead and scan that QR code so we can book a discovery call and talk about some of your needs, wants, and must-haves if you're wanting to move to the Sacramento area. And if you wanna see some new construction homes in the Elk Grove area, go ahead and click that playlist there. Or if you wanna learn about some more awesome neighborhoods in the Elk Grove, California area, click that video down there.